Before a single stitch is placed, everything begins with silk. Silkworm cocoons are dropped into warm water to loosen their threads. At a traditional wooden reeling frame, one continuous filament is drawn from each cocoon. Other cocoons are pulled apart entirely by hand into soft white floss. The silk skeins are then boiled in a brass pan to remove the saracen, the natural gum, leaving the threads pure white and soft. Now, the color. This is malachite, a brilliant green copper mineral. The raw stone is ground in a heavy mortar until the deep green releases its color. Then comes levigation. The crushed pigment is swirled in clean stream water in a wooden panning dish, letting the coarse grit sink while the finest particles stay suspended. After that, it's ground again in a porcelain mortar until completely smooth, then poured into a clay collection bowl. The same process creates every other color: red, blue, cyan, each one ground from a different mineral stone. She lines all the bowls up on a table, a full natural palette made completely by hand. Before dyeing, the silk is rinsed thoroughly in a large basin of clean water. Then, it goes into the warm dye bath, lowered slowly into the heated pigment liquid. Ox bone glue is added to help the color bond permanently with the silk fibers. 3 dye pots sit on ceramic stoves in the grass, each holding a different shade. After soaking, the silk is lifted and wrung firmly by hand, all excess dye squeezed out, then left to fully absorb the color in the saturated dye bath. Once the silk is dyed and dry, the embroidery base is sewn on a vintage sewing machine. The dark silk is stretched taut on a wooden frame, and the design is traced onto it with a fine white brush. Now comes the most delicate step of all: splitting the silk thread. Each fine thread is pinched and peeled apart into filaments thinner than a hair. Because this is double-sided embroidery, one of the rarest techniques in the world, where the front and back of the fabric show completely different colors simultaneously. Stitch by stitch, the cat takes shape. Orange fur, white cheeks, black markings, each area filled with split-thread silk so fine the result looks like real fur. The finished piece is mounted in a carved black wooden frame. An orange and white cat on one side, a completely different image on the other. 2 paintings, 1 thread, 1 piece of silk.